Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Michael Mackniak, your favorite emoji-looking guy, right? I can't even thank you enough for your continued support and the influx of letters and, well, emails, right, and comments that we've been getting from all of you in our tribe and in our groups and on our email list, etc. over the last couple of days. Keep it up. It's just encouraging. It's great to be able to do this work and bring this to you. You know, the other day we got to talk to you about the idea of some of the core concepts that go into being a really good leader, you know, and being really part of a team. Because as I said that day, you know, leadership requires membership, right? So that was our core concept of that day. Leadership requires membership. That is that, you know, leadership is a privilege. And like all privileges, it can be taken away from us if we act inappropriately or if we lose the faith of the people that we're supposed to lead. And a lot of you know my story, and I'll just recap it really quickly. I was struggling as a young attorney to try to figure out the best way to provide services for people that I was mandated to serve, most of whom I didn't know from Adam, and most of whom I had no idea about their wishes or their concerns, let's say their religious beliefs, their cultural beliefs, and it became very difficult. So I set out in the late 1990s, to discover or to create sort of a better mousetrap, let's say. And since then, our business has been just on a trajectory. You know, we went from negative $30,000 to a well over seven-figure number, and we've served hundreds and hundreds of people. We've literally impacted thousands and thousands of lives. You know, when you work with individuals, the work that you do is not limited to that one individual, right? It's like a ripple effect. When you drop a pebble or a rock into a pond, you know, you're impacting an individual, his or her wife and kids, or parents and their extended family. You're helping out providers, and you're helping out all the teams of providers that surround individuals. So it really is a ripple effect, in the growth and the impact that you, every single one of you, have is exponential. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you today in this lesson for today, if you will, is this concept of why should we care? Why should we do this work? And I thought I would tell you a quick story about a lecture that I was giving to a group of very sophisticated, high-level trust officers. I sat at the end of a very long conference table, and I gave my presentation to this group, who comprised mostly of attorneys, you know, my brothers and sisters of the law, and other trust professionals who were given the position to be in charge of and take care of money for people, many of whom had no idea or any concept of how to take care of money for themselves. Now, not all of those folks couldn't take care of money because of incapacity or some kind of other cognitive or physical impairment. Some of them are, frankly, trust fund babies and never had to take care of money themselves. Those aren't the people that we're talking about. I was there to present my concepts, the core concepts of leadership and care coordination with this group, to explain to them how, as trust officers, they have a duty to be a trust officer. And that should be their focus, right? That we, as providers, can be in the community and working as a team, utilizing the trust officer as our team leader, but make no mistake, member of our team, so that he or she could tell us how they want to run the trust and how they want things to go and what information they want to know with regard to the amount of money that they're supposed to dole out as per the trust document. So I'm explaining all of this, and I'm talking to the room, and I'm getting the usual nods and the usual "I appreciate what you're saying" look from a lot of people. And I was done with my talk, and I'll never forget this wizened old gentleman sitting down at the table almost directly opposite of me raised his hand, and he said to me, Michael, he said, "Why should I care?" So I paused, of course, and I said, well, had no concept of where he was going with the question. So I said, well, what do you mean, why should you care? He said, well, and he held up the piece of paper. He said, I have this document. And this document tells me what to do with the money for John Doe. So if John Doe decides that he's going to take the money I give him and he's going to shoot it in his arm, or he's going to give it to his girlfriend, or he's going to go and buy all kinds of high expensive cars and TVs, it's none of my business. I'm just a trust officer. The document tells me what to do, and it protects me from the spendthrift that is John Doe. Now, folks, I have to tell you, I was taken aback by the question. I'm still taken aback by the question, but I'm more taken aback by the attitude. I cannot disagree with that particular gentleman any more than I do. I don't care about what a trust document says in terms of protecting the fiduciary, okay? In my estimation, lawyers, trust officers, caregivers, clinicians, fiduciaries of all kinds, therapists, social workers, case managers, we have an ethical and moral duty to make sure that the work that we do is sound and in the best interest of the individuals that we're appointed to represent. And I really believe that if that is the attitude that people are bringing to the practice of trust, of fiduciary, of caregiver, then all bets are off, and what's the point of having them at all? The naysayers, the doubters, the detractors, in that case, are always going to be right. The reason that you're here listening to me, the reason that you're interested in what I have to say is because you do not have the why should I care mentality, right? You have brought to the table a certain degree of passion. And you've brought to the table a will, a need, in some cases, to contribute something back. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. That's what I'm here to applaud and congratulate you upon. Because it isn't just a matter of what a document says that's going to protect you. It's a matter of doing what's right. It's a matter of doing what's right for the people that we represent, the most vulnerable and at-need populations in our communities. That's why we're here. That's why we do the work. So this will that we have, this compulsion to contribute to society, is what brings us all together and makes me so proud of all the work that we do and all the work that you do, and the fact that we're all part of this community together. As if I need to explain any further about the why should we care, I have up here for you a couple of statistics that might be of interest to my wizened old friend from the trust company. Right now in this country, there are about 50 million people over the age of 65. I don't think I need to tell any of you listening or watching or hearing my voice, we already have a medical system that is broken, and it seems to be falling further off the rails. How do we address a population of 50 million plus elderly individuals in this country? What's scarier is that in a little over 10 years, that number is projected to jump to 70 million people. So we're having a hard enough time with 50. What are we going to do when we reach 70? Here's another reason why we should care. And conservative estimates indicate that about 1 in 5 people suffers from some form of mental illness. Imagine that, 1 in 5 people. Look around your dinner table, look around your office right now. When you have your Thanksgiving feast or your Easter dinner, look around that table. How many people, statistically speaking, probably have some form of mental health issue? And here's the last one for you. Our veterans, the various countries that we've gone in to defend, sending our 18, 19, 20-year-old kids over to do battle on our behalf to protect what we believe in. of those kids and of those returning heroes, it's estimated by the Veterans Administration that over 40%, nearly half, of post-traumatic stress disorder and/or a traumatic brain injury of one kind or another. So, why should we care? We should absolutely care about what goes on as in our role as fiduciary. We should absolutely care about how it is that we're going to be services to all of these individuals, all the individuals that we're appointed to represent, everybody that we hold $1 for or everybody that we hold $1 million for. It's so vitally important that we understand that not only do we bring this passion to this program and whatever it is that we're running or whatever reason that we're in these professions, but we're also in it because we have that goal, that drive, and we really care about what matters. So, in our last video, we talked about core concepts or core competencies. Today, I'm talking to you about this contribution that we feel that we are making to our society. And God bless you for doing the work that you do. But remember, very often, what we need more than anything as caregivers, as wellness professionals, as fiduciaries, is a process. We have all the passion in the world. We have all the compassion in the world. But very often for many of us, passion without a process becomes a problem. So when I see you next time, I want to talk to you about the character that makes up that passion in you. I want to go off of the idea of what we are going to contribute, and we're going to get into some insight about what makes us tick, what drives that passion in every single one of us. So until then, thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you for being part of this entire community. There are thousands of people hearing my voice, believe it or not, and I couldn't be more excited about that. Keep the emails rolling in. Stay proactive, stay proficient, change lives.